Right, here in Harlow with the Sugar Boy. How are you, Royston?
All good, all good.
It's been a little while since got you on camera.
I know, I've been missing you, mate. Where you been?
I know, it's just you hiding away in Harlow all the time, you know. It's not quite as easy as just bombing down the motorway to Southampton, is it?
No, I've got to go a big long drive, 2 hours up here every day.
What's that town you live in?
Petersfield I live in.
Petersfield, that's it. Always try and think of it. Now, how long's this taking you every day to get
2
Harlow?
hours.
2 hours.
2
there
hours,
and back?
2 hours here, 2 hours back.
Oh, so you're 4 hours sitting
So
in
4 hours in the car a day, yeah.
How's that taking its toll on you?
At the start it was a bit sore, then you just get used to it really. You know, like every day just wake up, have a bit of breakfast, do your things you need to do before you set off, and it just comes like a routine.
Do you know what would concern me in your position? Is you boxers drink an awful lot of water.
Yeah.
Now, for me, like, I know you're supposed to drink water, but every time I do, it's like you need to go to the bloody loo.
Yeah.
So you must be drinking gallons of water and you're sitting in a car for 2 hours.
No, I do have a stop off in South Mims the odd time, so ain't too bad.
Yeah, but when you're stuck in traffic,
Oh, that's the worst.
you've got to have like tactical pit stops, haven't you?
Plan out your route.
Last time I was here, so to speak, you were like living above the shop. You decided to break away from your mother's apron strings and live over here. What changed?
What changed was, what can I say? Not I was missing the family, but not the fact of that. I felt like it was a bit of a distraction living here, because when I was here, I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I was just doing the things I shouldn't be doing. And then I thought, right, I need to go back home, get my head down, get stuck into what I need to do, and proceeded to do what I'm doing now, and that's putting in great performances.
You'd think what you were doing would be a positive, but it wasn't then?
No, it was at the start, because I was very strict on myself, and then like I started like having a little look about and venturing out, and I was like, nah, this can't be happening.
Come on, what were you doing?
Just really just going out to like,
you don't want to say. Well, you just turned 18, hadn't you?
yeah.
You were living with a gang of boys, you know, sort of, and I suppose the word to put it is you were just exploring, weren't you?
Exploring, yeah.
Right, we're going to go back to the start now.
All right.
Wembley Arena. March 2022 debut. Aidan Martinez.
Yeah.
4 rounds. You hadn't boxed for a while, have you? But you were a little bit disappointed, weren't you?
I was a bit aggravated really, because I thought like I need to like make a big statement. Then, but when I got in there, it was just it was something that I wasn't used to. No vest, obviously, no egg guard, smaller gloves, and thinking about it a lot more, putting a lot more training in. And I thought, because what I was doing in sparring, and I know sparring and fighting is 2 different things, but what I was doing in there, I should have put on a better performance than I did. And then, so I had a little think back to myself, and then my next fight, the one after that, I had my backhand in the second or first round. I landed flush, and then like I felt a big pain go right through the side, so I only could use my lead hand. So that was a bit of a kick in the teeth. And then after that, I thought, right, this has to stop now. I need to start putting these away. So then I come back with Ben. I had a chat with him.
Well, let's just reflect back on this second fight, because that was Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
And also on the first fight, you've got to also allow yourself the fact, but it's the first time you'd fought a fully grown geezer. I mean, you were junior amateur, you were fighting kids.
That's what I mean,
your own age. And it's something Frank said about Moses the other week. It's the first time he'd fought a man, you know, on his debut.
Yeah.
You know, people mock the fact that he knocked him straight out, but you never know, do you?
Well, you don't know. Sometimes like you're forgetting a man is a more dense and more compact than a boy. Obviously, like a proper man that feel like a plank of wood when you touch him. Boys are just easier to move around, but when you do land flush, then they do go to sleep though.
How do you reflect on that Wembley Stadium experience on the Fury White? It's a year ago now, isn't it? Just,
yeah, I know.
Just over St George's Day.
Looking back at it, it was unbelievable exposure, and I've got to say thanks to Frank for that, and that was unbelievable doing that for me.
Did you take it all in at the time? Were you able to?
Yeah, it was very. It was like a dream come true, to be honest, because like I was 18, coming into this big platform, and I was sat looking around a couple of the other fighters on there, and their proper fight. They was established, and I was like, I'm not doing too bad up here, am I? When I sat beside them, was doing interviews, and it was good.
Yeah. So that was, like you say, another 4-rounder that went 4 rounds. Then you're saying you got together with Ben and decided, like you say, things had to change. Tell us about what's the science behind that.
The change was be more composed and switched on what I was doing. Like be confident in what I was doing. In the other 2 fights, I was a bit like, right, I just go back to what I'm used to. If you know what I mean, like pip pop, in and out, in and out. Then I would come back to Ben. I was like, I need to start thinking like what I need to do. But Ben was already telling me out for the first 2 fights. It's just that I wasn't soaking it in properly. So when I took it all in and everything into consideration, I thought, right, this has to be a proper statement now when I box Paul Holt in your call. So I got right up for it. I went in there and I done the job. Because I never, like I've hurt a lot of people, but I've never hurt someone the same way as I did hurt Paul Holt right at the start. Yeah. So I catch him, boom, boom, boom. I thought, right, I'm gonna get you now. So as I stepped into him, I unloaded a few shots. I was like, actually, we'll step off. If I've catched him once, I catch him again. So and then I repositioned him, like myself and him in the ring, and then I feinted low, come over, and that was all she wrote.
I saw an interview with Ben some months ago, and he was asked about you, and he made reference to a bit of a turning point where he probably had to read you the right act. You know, put a few words in your show, like to say, unless we straighten this out, you know, I'm not going to train you type thing. And he actually admitted that. Is that something to do with what you were talking about before? The exploring and all that?
Yeah, that was a little.
So there was a hard conversation.
Yeah. There was a thorough conversation in that, and we had it and we dealt with it, and and then we come back together, and we're closer than close now, and the training's gone fantastic.
Was that around the point where you decided to go home?
Yeah.
So everything just sort of fell back into place. You're back with your mum and dad and your brother.
Yeah.
You make the sacrifice to do the journey, but you still get the best of you.
I get the best of both worlds now, so I still get to go back home with my family. Plus, I'm a bit older now. I'm 19, and I still get the benefits of the training.
You said to me, but there was a dawning with you where you sort of said there's boxing and then there's fighting.
Yeah.
And you decided, but you needed to be a fighter. Yeah. At this stage. Mhm. Not many people actually say that, do they? They normally sort of say, oh, we can all fight, but we need to box. You need to get onto your boxing. You're going in the opposite direction. Yeah, because it's all right trying to look good, and obviously you have to look good when you're on the camera, and you have to do your job, but you can't keep thinking about looking for them little pot shots and run around the ring, little pot shot, run around the ring. You have to be there, not in the pocket, but in the moment. You have to be there. You have to be looking to put someone away. You can't just be there looking to just sneak some points off of them and win the round. You have to be focused on what you want to do, and the job is to get them out there. Mm. And to be fair, we watch it every week, don't we, with these youngsters? A lot of these youngsters, they look good, but they're all moving around the ring, ping, pop, pop, and you know they win on points. They win on points. We see it every week, don't we? With, you know, internationals. They've all got international amateur skills, highly rated, but they're not getting people out of there, are they?
No, they're not.
But you knew you had that in you to start doing that.
Yeah, I knew I had it in me. But not even for the sake of that. I thought, well, if I don't have that other side to me, then you can't just be a one-trick pony. You can always go back to that. Yeah, you can always go back to what you're originally good at, but you just adding more strings to your bow.
How did you go about affecting that change? Like, all of a sudden preparing yourself to be this one-round knockout merchant?
That I didn't prepare for that. What I'm doing in the training and for like what we're setting up, it's just doing the right things at the right times. That's why they're getting put away so early. is because as soon as they're making a mistake, I'm banking it in my brain. Right, okay, made that mistake, now he's going to pay, but bang, and then that's it.
Going back to your diary, in December you were back on that football ground thing at Tottenham.
Yeah.
And again, this one lasted a little bit longer. 1 minute and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Against Cruz Perez, who's typically normally sees you prospects out, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's normally a tough fighter, and he is. I think when I fought him, he was won 3, lost 3, and never been stopped. And
nailed him in the corner, didn't you?
Yeah, I got him. Come around, little sidestep, bang, right hand over the top. It was a good shot, and he wasn't a bad bloke, to be honest. He was a nice fella, but at the end of the day, we're all there for a job, and I done mine, and he didn't see his through.
Getting a taste of these football grounds, aren't you?
Yeah, it's good. I like the big lights. It's what every boxer wants to be, under them big lights with them big cameras there, and them big crowds of people like showing them what you love to do.
And then a bit more earthy at York Hall, Lesnar, Lara.
Yeah.
Another long one, 1 minute and 7 seconds. But this one was, people probably didn't see it coming. It was almost a bit like the Gavante body shot from the other day. A lot of people probably looked at it and thought, why has he gone down there?
Yeah.
Talk us about that one.
Well, we've done a lot of work with body punching, and but we was focused on that. That was a main shot, what we was looking to land on him, and it landed perfectly. So I thought I could get him going, just touch him up, let a few shots go, and then as soon as he shook his head, I thought, okay, I'm going to get you now. So I'd done a little feint upstairs, and I hit him, and the glove went about that deep into his solar plexus. I thought he ain't getting up from there. So when he went down, I went to the corner, and then when he put his other knee down too, I thought that's it. That's all he had in him.
Some people, probably especially your mate Moses, almost seems a bit angry when he gets an early stoppage, a bit deflated.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it? Or are you still a bit full of energy?
Full of energy, but that's what you're supposed to do, if you know what I mean. It's like, how can I say it? It's like a Ferrari. You're not going to put a Ferrari beside a Fiat, are you? And expect them to go the same speed and for the same distance. It won't work. The Ferrari always takes over, and the Fiat's just left there in the dust. But that's where I thought. That's where I thought it was a change for me. Going back to what I was saying, I was thinking, well, I've got this massive big pedigree behind me. Why isn't it taking place the way it should be?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, I'm not driving it the right way, the way I am. And then I took a different perspective to it, and now I'm just going out there and smashing everyone up.
So on June, the microphone's just come off. On June the 9th at York Hall, back at York Hall, you're out again.
Yeah. And
I suppose the question is, will the get your backing shot. Will the Ferrari maybe go up against a Cortina this time, or what sort of car are we looking forward for you to race against?
I wouldn't mind any, to be honest. Anything that comes my way won't be sticking with me, and that's a fact. He might go all the rounds, he might not, but I can guarantee you it'll be a fantastic performance.
6 rounds?
6 rounds, yeah.
People could easily get carried away, like you say, with people with these first round stoppages and that. At 19 years old, where do you see yourself as being at the moment?
Realistically, about 10% of my potential. I believe, I'm being truthfully, I know you're not here at the time, so you can't see all the work I put in, and getting him out there in the first round, you're only seeing a little bit of my arsenal, and just a little bit. Not speaking down on any boxers or nothing, but just a little bit of me at the minute. What you're seeing is enough. When I start going through the rounds, start building the tempo, start pacing it, breaking people down, that's when you will see the proper version of me.
Are you looking forward to a sort of a close run thing?
Yeah.
Close sort of a close race where you're going to have to sort of
go through the gears. Yeah,
win late. You know, sort of a nice sort of 9th round stoppage, something like that.
I can't wait for it to box for a title or something like that over a certain distance of time, and just go for the rounds and just break my opponent down the way it should be done.
You've got to accept that Frank's got to be responsible with you, because he's taken on a then just turned 18-year-old. You're now 19. He's got to be responsible with the way he matches you as well, and he'll make sure that you don't get put into anything too deep too soon.
Yeah, because that's the problem at the minute, where you see me just like getting a couple of people out there. It's like, oh well, like, okay, you can fight him now, but realistically you take it step by step, and I'm ready to take every step it takes to become a champion.
Because people might look at your old Pinewood mate, Adam Azim.
Yeah.
He's quite a lot older than you, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good bit older than me. I think he's about 3 years older than me.
At least, I would have thought, isn't it? So I mean, people shouldn't really sort of make those comparisons.
Plus, he was always a lot bigger than me. So when he fought, like, I used to give away about 18-month an age, but so that would, so I used to give about 18 month away, but he's 18 month older than that, and then he used to give 18 months. So people he used to box was a lot older than me, not just a little bit.
Talk to me about sparring. Joe Cordina, in particular. It's quite something, but you got involved, or they wanted you involved in a world title camp.
Yeah, for sure. I've got to say it was some good rounds. Thanks very much, Joe, for letting me come in the camp and that. And I hope you've seen what he done on. Was it last Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Saturday night, he done the job and become 2 times world champion. I've got to say, it was honoured to spar him, and they were some proper quality rounds. Very, very good rounds.
How much did you do? Was it?
I'd done about 70 rounds with him.
Really? So it was over
I sparred him for the full camp. Like, I was one of his. I think I was his main. Partners. I was his main sparring partner.
I wonder why he picked you for Rakhimov.
I believe.
Just variety, maybe.
Sort of variety. Plus, I'm good on the counter. I'm very sharp on the counter, as you can see, and I'm also very composed. I could do the rounds with him. So, me doing the rounds with him, it was like he was getting the benefit as well, because I could stay in there for nearly the same amount of time as him. I was doing like 10s and 8 rounds with him at a time.
Part of your mind when you're going through sparring against someone of that level who was a world champion, now is a world champion again, part of you must be measuring where you are compared to him. Do you find that? Yeah, sure. Like it's a yardstick for like how I'm gonna get on, and he gave me some nice words. He said, mate, if you don't become world champion, then I don't know what. Like, it's obviously down to me, but he said, I don't see why you can't become world champion. I mean, he's 30. He's an Olympian. Yeah. So I mean, he's pretty much done it all. He's there now. He's 2-time world champion, Olympian. Think to yourself after some days, I was right up with him today. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We had some very good competitive sparring. Very, very good competitive sparring. It was very good. Who else you been jumping in with lately? No one really. I was sparring him for about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. So like every couple of days I'd have to keep going sparring him. So I do a bit of training, spar him, and he fought last Saturday, and I ain't really done that. I sort of had a break off a bit of sparring then, because it was like I'd done a full camp myself, like a full fight camp myself, sparring him. So I had a week off, just over a week off, and then come back in the gym. I've been in the gym for about a week now, so I'll probably get back sparring next Monday. So having that experience is probably more beneficial, but you didn't have a fight. Yeah, of course, because it stood me in good stead for, this 6th rounder now I'm going to have. I know I can do the rounds, like 8s and 10 rounds, so it shouldn't be a problem. The 6th round I won't gas or nothing like that, get over ego and come out swinging. And everything was going to plan in the sparring, so it was good. A word on your mate Moses Hitalma, who's burst onto the heavyweight scene. He's literally like you last year. He's just turned 18. I mean, you're old muckers, aren't you? Yeah, we used to go away together all the time when we used to go to championships and that. We used to bunk together. We used to win. Well, me and him never really used to lose. He's never lost. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I lost one time, and yeah, I was sore about that because I'd never stuck with.
So you
well,
let the
we
side
did,
down.
yeah.
You had a lot more fights than him.
Yeah,
right?
I had.
You only had 24.
Yeah, I had 50, but I had 37 for England, and I only lost one. So.
I mean, you two were earmarked for the Olympic pathway, weren't you? Sort of. And like you, he's decided to use the time to
come over with Frank and.
He's got a goal, hasn't he, about being the youngest heavyweight?
Heavyweight, yeah.
You want to be the youngest something as well, don't you?
Youngest British world champion. So
You're after Naz's, aren't you?
I'm after Naz's one, yeah.
And he's after Mike Tyson.
And he's after Mike Tyson's.
You think big, you two, don't you?
Let's have a big or go home. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly.
You spoken to him much?
I've spoken to him the other day. He was up there. He come sparring Jamie, who trains with Barry Smith.
Oh yeah, of course.
He come up sparring. He done a bit of sparring up here. Good bit of sparring. Seen him then, and yeah, that was the last time I seen him. Spoke to him.
Is he a man of few words, or is that just what he's putting across to the?
No,
in interviews?
No, he does speak. It's just you got to let him warm up to you. But no, he is very confident in what he does. He's not shy. He is out there.
Are you two looking forward to being on the same cards?
Yeah, for sure. It'll be like old times, really. So it won't be too bad.
Certainly will be. Well, Royston, thank you for having me down. We look forward to seeing you back at York Hall on June the 9th.
Yeah.
Where over 6 rounds. We'll see what sort of car they bring to match up to your Ferrari.
Sure. Well, hopefully they bring something tasty.
Yeah, it needs to be a sort of nice, durable off-road vehicle,
sure,
doesn't it? Royston, well done, mate.
Oh, thank you very much.